Welcome to Stars and Stripes. Our flag is the symbol of freedom and justice for all. Many brave Americans fought and died for this freedom. America was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. When we allow our Constitution to be destroyed and God is taken out of America, there is and can be no freedom.
Welcome to Stars and Stripes. I'm your host, Pastor Ken Jones. Again, we're here with Michael Karachun in part 3. Actually, this is really the first part. We're going to be talking about robots, nanotechnology, and quantum computing. I just want to start right now and let you all know that our world is not the same world that some of you were born to, especially those over 55 and 60. I just want to let you know that this new world order that's coming in, you have to know what's going on. You're going to lose a lot of your rights. A lot of things are going to happen that you have to stand up as Christians and as patriots of America. Well, without further ado, Michael Karachun, welcome to Stars and Stripes.
Well, again, brother, I'm glad to be back. And the last thing we did was on climate change, which, believe it or not, if you know the end game, like we mentioned in that, that ties directly into this too. It's all leading in the same direction. And this, just like the climate change thing that we were talking about, this subject here is this huge. You need a college course on this. So obviously we can't go that deep. We only have time to do a smidget like this.
Right.
And try and get you to understand that you need to get off your donkeys and get out here and start researching this. And don't be satisfied with what the government tells you or some big shots. You really need to look into this, because your world has changed so radically.
Amen.
In the last 50 years. I was born in 1944. This country is not the country I was born into. This world doesn't even resemble the world I was born into. And the change, if you think it's changed that much, you ain't seen nothing yet, folks. Everything that was science fiction when I was growing up has come true.
Amen.
Pick out a subject. I don't care what subject you pick up. Every single subject that everybody was laughing at as science fiction is now true.
Amen.
It is now here. And you really need to understand that the people that are in control of all this technology, what they really want to do with it. You really need to know. And how much it's already impacted your life. And you gave me a sheet of some questions you want to ask. Go ahead and...
All right. First question is, where is robot technology today? And how fast is it advancing?
Folks, robot technology is no longer those little kitty toys we used to buy that I gave to my kids and what you've been seeing. And if you've been watching Elon Musk and you've been watching what's going on in the world and what's going on in China, we used to say, man, it's going like the speed of rockets. No, it's not going like the speed of rockets. How about light speed? It's going at light. I'm not even sure if light speed is going to be fast enough. I mean, the knowledge in this area keeps doubling about every 3 months. And with the quantum computers, which we'll get into, is coming on, I don't know. It is going so fast, the scientists themselves that are in this can't even hardly keep up with it. That's how fast it's going. If you think you know something today, 3 months from now, you're going to have to know some more if you're in the industry. You're never going to be able to stop studying. This is a science. This is a work that is accelerating, where you're constantly on a learning curve. That's how fast it's going. And let's see, what was the other part of the question? You know, I think that I answered that question. And well, let me go here. By 2032, these are some notes I have. Half the current jobs are expected to be replaced. More than half the jobs in the United States has already been replaced by robots. There's almost no human contact in making automobiles now. There's almost no human contact in a lot of other things. And now they're coming up with robots that look like human beings. Matter of fact, some of them are so perfected you can't even tell it's a robot until you're right on top of it. Okay? Robots have already replaced many jobs in manufacturing. Matter of fact, how about this? I was just in the store yesterday. I was waiting for the clerk to come up to the cash register. Then someone pointed out, wait a minute, this is a self-service thing. There was no cash register. There was no human being for me to talk to if something went wrong there. And so I've gotten to a lot of stores that I don't even go into anymore, because if something goes wrong, and that's my money. So I don't want to be messing with a machine that's messed up my money like I've seen, and try to go find the one person in the store that probably doesn't know how to fix it anyhow to get my money back. Then they got to give you a little slip showing that you got an IOU.
Right.
I don't want to go through that. And so at any rate, I hate the idea that these big shots think that they can just wipe out every job so they can pocket what little extra money there is in their pocket. And here's people out here can't pay their mortgages, can't pay this, and can't even get a simple cashier's job. So what I do is I go to every store I can that doesn't have all this stuff. I go to stores everywhere I can. I'm not going to name any. You can name them, that actually care about human beings. Because a robot doesn't care about me. They don't care what happens to me. You think they care about what happens to your family? So by me going to stores that has employees, I'm caring about their family. Because I go there, I'm caring about them having a job.
Amen.
To be able to make an income, to make ends meet for them, their children, and everybody. If I just, every time I turn around, oh, here's some convenience at a robot machine here, I've just said, I don't give a blankety blank about people having jobs and working in this country. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be covering all this soon. When all the jobs are gone, what makes you think you're so important to be kept around? Why are you needed for anything when the robots are doing everything? Oh yeah, there'll be some humans, but they're going to be the high-tech ones up here at the top. Those jobs will be very limited. Then you're going to have the slave labor jobs down here that nobody wants. The few ditch diggers, those that clean toilets and things like that. That's what you're going to have. Is that what you want for America? Well, so far, most of the population here is volunteering for that. And we're going to be getting into that. You ought to already know, look around. How many jobs have already disappeared? They ain't just all gone overseas. They just don't exist anymore. And they're planning on getting rid of at least, they've said so, it's been in the news. This isn't something I'm making up. At least half the jobs are expected to be gone in the United States. Well, if more than half is already left, now you're talking about what? Compared to years ago, less than 1/4 of the jobs are left. Tell me, why is 3/4 of the population needed? Well, they've already told you we're overpopulated. Something needs to happen to the population. They have told you right to your face. If you don't believe it, I'm sorry, I can't help you. God gave you a brain, told you to use common sense. If your people are telling you they're going to do something, and they've always done what they said they're going to do, and that's been the pattern for decade after decade, they say it and they do it. How long is it going to take you to believe them when they say what they're going to do next? What's it going to take for you? If you don't start waking up now, you don't deserve a good life in the future, because you've been warned, you've been told by every expert that knows what's going on here, and you chose the easy way out, not to listen and to do what you're supposed to do. Now let me go on here. Just going to touch on this for just the next question. I tried to make notes so I don't forget something. Robots have already placed many jobs in manufacturing. The military are already using robots. Right. Have you seen it? Mm-hmm. They've already got what they call mules. They're testing them now. Oh, but if you think that's it, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator model isn't that far away. We'll get to that later. Not that far away. Have you seen what Elon Musk and what the Chinese have done? They got computerized robots now look like human beings. I was looking at one the other day, and this independently now, in the early stages of AI, artificial intelligence, this machine, this robot was walking on 2 legs, 2 arms, torso, head, doing all the maneuvers like an athlete could do. Going up and down steps without any problem. Jumping rope, doing backflips, running, doing, if I was like take our moderator here and hit him and try and knock him over, catch his balance just like you would do. If someone came and hit you, you catch your balance, get straight, do the same thing. And now with the AI coming up, which we'll discuss later, these robots can learn and train on their own. They won't even need a human being at some part. So the AI and Arnold Schwarzenegger, the military is looking at this. They want soldiers. Right. This has been a long-standing program, the perfect soldier, in every aspect. Of course, they're going to have to keep human beings too. Okay, so human-like robots will be common. They're talking about they're going to be common. Okay, you go out, those of you that are left, you go out to the restaurant, you'd like to have at least a little warm. Well, that person you see coming up, the robot's going to be so realistic, it'd be like a person. They'll talk like a person, they'll act like a person, their eyes flash. You ought to see them now. Just like a person. But it won't be a person, okay? It won't. Look at the automatic stuff now. How many of you have gotten upset every time you have a problem with something? You call up the company, and what are you talking to? You're talking to a computer. You eventually got to jump through 100 hoops before you finally get them to let you talk to the human being. And then that human being probably has a waiting list this long for people trying to reach him because they're so fed up with trying to deal with the computer at the other end. Because the computer never has all the answers to everything. For one thing, the computer doesn't care about you. At least that human being cares about you at the other end. If for no other reason than wanting to get rid of you, let me hurry up and solve this problem. So they do care. Even if it's for selfish reasons, they care. That robot has no emotions whatsoever.
Right.
So there you go. Then you've got, did you know this? You think I was joking about the Arnold Schwarzenegger robot? I always knew this lab existed, and it's just one of many, by the way. There's a lot of these labs. They actually showed, and I was looking at it, I said, finally they're showing this lab. I've been waiting for years for it to break loose, so I always wanted to have an internal look at it. And finally they showed one level of this underground lab that's just across the border from Mexico and Arizona. Guess what they are doing in that lab? They can now grow artificial skin. What's the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator cover it? Covered with skin. It's real skin, but they grow it artificially. Guess what else they can do there? They've already done. The arm gets cut off. they can, with the technology, grow back a new arm and grow it back quicker. With the aids that they have now, the type of drugs and stuff, they make it grow back faster. There's nanotechnology will be used for this as well. People want a perfect set of teeth, got teeth missing. I could use some help there. But I don't think they're going to let me in the lab so I can get my perfect teeth back. But at any rate, grow your teeth right back. Literally, basically build a new human being they can do now. Okay? You say, oh, it's junk. Well, I'm sorry. Why didn't you see the program? It was right there in the lab talking to the scientist. So don't go telling me it doesn't exist. And now they got these robots coming up, and the military wants the perfect soldier. You better start thinking about this. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I was just watching too. The robots they're already designing for the perfect surveillance system of the population. They were showing the robots what I saw in the daggone science fiction show not too long ago. Little robots no bigger than this, flying around all the different cities, watching everything going on, not just the cameras, but every little thing, and they can be stationed everywhere. There won't be anywhere you go in the United States where you won't be under some kind of a camera being watched. Every single move that's going on. And these things now, if you know the technology, they got the technology now. They look through the walls, see what you're doing. You think you got privacy in your home? Look through the walls. See this thing right here? It's never off. I don't care if you take the battery on it, off of it. If you know anything about broadcast energy and the digital system, how it works, take your battery out so it doesn't work. Go ahead, take it apart. It won't make any difference. They can fire this sucker up. Matter of fact, they're listening to us right now. And I got my phone. So technically speaking, it's not supposed to hear. But had a little surprise. Me and some fellows were traveling somewhere. We were talking on a particular situation in detail. Guess what came on our phones? The very thing we were talking on hit on all of our phones. The very thing. Now, you mean tell me someone wasn't listening? Well, the AI, artificial intelligence system, was listening. Sure enough, fired right back up on our conversation, automatically on all our phones. While we were traveling in a pickup truck. So if you think they're not listening, surveilling you now, you're behind the times. You must be a caveman. Caveman, oh well, I gotta be politically polite, cave woman and caveman. Can't leave anybody out now. I don't want to get some politician or some wild-eyed group that's burning down buildings upset out here. Okay, so
that's the next question. What is nanotechnology and how fast is it advancing?
Nanotechnology, if you've ever seen them through a microscope, they're little teeny tiny machines. They're not just machines, but so small you take a microscope to see them. Our manufacturing abilities have advanced that far. And you can program these little machines to do anything. But nano just means microscopic small. That's basically, I mean, it's as small as you can get. The military is already using nanotechnology. It's already in use. They're already putting it in our foods, I found out. Through the chemtrail spraying, they're already spraying it up in the air, so all of us that breathe in some type of nano stuff, I know that should make you feel good, because if they're spraying in the air, it isn't staying in the air, it's coming down, settling to the earth. So you're breathing the air. All of us have been contaminated by this. And officials can't close it down. Trump tried to close down the program. They told him to go back home and shut up, that the president didn't have any authority over them. And that was in the news. I'm not making that up. All you had to do is watch your 6 o'clock news. You would have seen that. And others have tried. And those of you that say that it doesn't exist, well, the authorities have admitted to it because they have no choice. So it exists. And I feel really sorry for all you people that after jets have been flying around for what, 70, 80 years? And you can't tell the difference by now between a contrail, a condensation trail, and a chemical trail sprayed by these supersonics. You can't tell the difference. You don't know the difference. You don't have even a rudimentary idea of how jets work after all these decades they've been in the air. You don't care about truth that little bit. So, in other words, the nanotechnology is there. They were programmed, and you've noticed they have been taking the genetic code for everything in the world, right? All of us that's in this room making this program now, I can tell you our genetic code is in the system. Mm-hmm. I worked at nuclear power plants. You think my genetic code there? I couldn't go and get those jobs unless I had to give urine and give all kinds of stuff. They've got my genetic code.
Right.
All of you ever been to a doctor? Had blood samples? They got your genetic code.
Yes.
Now then, what you could do with these little nanobots, you can program them on what you want to do. This has been a science that's been going on for decades. They've got it now. So let's just say, let's look at the sinister side of this, okay? We don't want any more people with brown eyes to stay alive. All right, they send out a satellite signal. Those nanobots go to work. Everybody with brown eyes winds up developing something very quickly and dies. The nanobots inside the system attacks. Because in your genetic code, it says you got brown eyes. That little nanobots, they recognize it, boom. You've had it. All right, it could be hazel eyes. It could be people with certain color hair. It doesn't have to be that. It could be people with certain skin colors. They've got it down to that fine now. Mm-hmm. That it could be weaponized just like that. Now, the good thing about the nanotechnology, when you tie it in with the growth factors I was talking about, if it's in good hands with good people that want to use it properly, you lose an arm. Now they grow it back. You've lost an eye. You've lost something. You need help. You got a heart problem. You don't see that stuff coming on the market, do you, folks? You got cancer. You wanted to attack cancer. You got diabetes. You want that straightened out. Well, why don't you see this on the market? Well, tell me something. I used to know scientists that were in the drug business and everything, and in the medical business. There's no money in cures, folks. There's only money being made in sickness. Sickness, and you staying sick and you getting on some kind of program to control the sickness. Let's see, I got to buy this drug. Okay, now that drug doesn't work anymore, I got to go to the next drug. That drug doesn't work, now I go to the next drug. You're always going to be in a treatment program. Right. As long as you're in a treatment program, where's the money going to? Now, if you're in a treatment program, are you not being controlled? You're not free to go what you want to do because you're tied to that medical system. You can't get out. Can you travel like you want to? Mm-hmm. Can you be free to be what you want to? No, you got to report to the doctor if you want to get your drugs, right? If you want to get that surgery at some point, money, power, your life is controlled. And we're not even halfway through this program. Cameraman says we're running out of time. So these surveillance robots, they're already talking about that they're going to be up there. And you ought to see some of these surveillance things will be the size of a bug, no bigger than that. That fly on the wall that you think, go talk to the military, they've already showed it. That fly on the wall won't be a fly. It'll be able to see, hear everything, transmit it right back to wherever. That's how it's getting. And I think we're out of time, so.
Well, here's the thing, Mike. we've seen a lot of these things on, like you say, science fiction and things of that nature, and these things are coming to pass. And what you're bringing in to this is the fact that it's here already. We don't have to wait for the future. The future is here. And I thank God for the fact that you have this knowledge and you bringing it to the people and bringing it to where we, the people, have to understand that this stuff can be good or it can be used to control us. We hope to God that we will not be controlled by this new technology. Anyway, I think we're going to have to do another program because this is so exciting. I hate to even break in on this one. But folks, please, next time on Stars and Stripes, we hope you tune in to Mike Karachun on the second part of robots, nanotechnology, and quantum computing. God bless you. Have a blessed day.
I trust you enjoyed today's program. Please contact your congressman and let him know you are displeased with our Constitution being butchered. More executive orders came forth in the last 4 years than ever before in American history. Remember to pray for America. Be strong and of good cheer. Remember, America is worth fighting and dying for, as is Jesus our Lord. Until next time, this is Kenneth T. Jones saying, so long, friends.